Like if you want to summarize human suffering in one conversation, that's pretty much it. This illusion that the character that you're playing has to be in control of everything and like solve everything, and everything that happens, you take it so personal. You're just having an experience. Nothing is happening to you. You're just experiencing different things. And sometimes you enjoy the experience. Sometimes you're not enjoying it so much. But when you understand it's just an experience, then move on to a different experience. Everything in life carries its energy. Okay? All the interactions that we're having, that means the energy matches or it doesn't match. Or the energy is kind of complementing each other or it's creating conflict, right? It's nothing to be taken personal, honestly. Like you can have a relationship where like the two of you don't get along and then that person goes and gets along perfectly with somebody else. It's nothing to be taken personally. It's just that it was not a match and it's okay, right? So this thing happens on many different levels. This happens in interpersonal relationships, job, the city you live in, the country you live in, the type of people you have around you, the culture that you have around you. Like some of us, at some point, the culture doesn't match. You have to get out of there. Do you understand? And you will keep doing this your whole life, right? Because we work on ourselves, yes, and you do your best. But sometimes your energy does not quite match the environment that you're in. And this is the importance of self-acceptance because at some point you have to understand what part of me am I willing to be completely okay with, regardless of the environment, regardless of the relationship, regardless of any kind of expectations from whatever environment that I'm in or community that I'm in. What part of me am I willing to accept 100%? Without self-criticism. A lot of this self-criticism is an attachment that you yourself have of an image that you had of yourself in the past or throughout your life. Please listen carefully to what I'm saying. This is very important. You have attachments to an image or an impression that you have of yourself throughout the years. So, for example, you're saying when you do certain things, there's this demon thing that comes into your head and trying to tell you, see, you're not worthy, right? Okay. Now, do you yourself, as of you stand right now, are you completely at peace with the fact that you're worthy? Or do you yourself wake up in the morning some days and be like, well, maybe I'm not all there? Do you understand? Because if you yourself, you never came to that point where you're willing to accept yourself unconditionally, that means that you have an attachment to this toxic relationship that you have with yourself. Because that's the only relationship you have, really. Because think about it. If you don't have friends, right? Or people who truly uplift you in life. You don't have family members that you can rely on. You don't have a close relationship that you can nurture, right? What is the quality of the relationship that you have with yourself? Have you ever taken the time to actually evaluate the quality of the relationship you have with yourself? We get on this journey to do the work, right? That means that something needs to be fixed subconsciously. So you're like, okay, I'm working on being a better version of myself. Okay. At what point does that better version become good enough for you to accept? At what point do you get to be like, okay, this is the better version of myself? I'm good. Do you understand? Because this can be another form of pursuing this endless road of pursuing something better, and you feel like you're never going to get there. And then you self criticize every single day. Do you understand? We're not preaching perfection. Perfection is, it's an illusion. Creation itself is not perfect. That's why it's still going. Do you understand? So whatever God is, creation, creator, whatever is building all these things, obviously it's not perfect. That's why it's still going, right? Okay. So this idea that somehow you have to keep pursuing a better version of yourself, that alone becomes this endless pursuit of something that you're not. Yes, we're all work in progress because creation itself is work in progress. Nature is work in progress. You said it yourself, every single time you go back to the forest, something is different. But that's the
Yes.
beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. It's not like, okay, nature is trying to pursue a better version of itself. No. Nature is just being nature. Today it looks like this. Today, tomorrow will look a little differently. But it's still nature in all its beauty. It's not waiting to be beautiful. It's been beautiful. Do you understand? So this is a clear distinction to be made because we get attached to this pursuit that what we are is not good enough and we're doing this work. Yes, the work helps, but the help is supposed to be you getting to the point where you free yourself to that of the self-criticism. But if we use the work itself to criticize ourselves that we're not evolving fast enough and we're not doing well enough and we're not growing like enough, then that alone becomes toxic. Okay. So the attachment to this idea that you are not quite there, the better version of yourself that you think you're going to be, that alone is something to be looked at. Every single day, there's a little whisper is you haven't quite done enough yet. There's something you just haven't, like, you're just not quite there yet. You have to do a little more. That's part of life. That's part of creation itself. It's not perfect. It will never be perfect. Otherwise, everything will cease to exist. It keeps going because we wake up every day with inspiration to work on something that we think can be improved. But that should never be a reason for you to look at yourself and say, well, maybe I'm failing this. Maybe I'm not making you proud. Maybe it's all that stuff. It's really you holding an attachment to self-criticism. You keep pursuing this ideal of something that you think it could be. But at some point, it's like, yeah, let's keep pursuing, but doesn't mean that you're not worthy yet. You're not quite there yet. There's no yet. You are as you are today, and that's the way it is. Look at your relationship with yourself, and how would you describe the quality of the relationship that you have with yourself right now? How kind are you to yourself? How accepting are you to yourself? How in love are you with yourself? Or how much do you have to criticize yourself about? What is the quality of your relationship with yourself? Because that's the mission. The mission is the quality of the relationship that you have with yourself.